far left, Corporal Brian Federchuk, Surrey, BC, RCMP, obviously Mayor Jim Watson, and beside me, Karen Bowman, Drop It and Drive founder. Good morning to all three of you.
Good morning.
Karen, tell me about Drop It and Drive. It all started in on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So
okay.
I live in BC, as does Corporal Federchuk, and basically it's a distracted driving prevention education program, reality-based.
And so there are still people out there who don't understand that distracted driving actually causes harm and kills people sometimes.
And that seems to be the case based on the behaviors that we're certainly seeing in BC. And again, even though the legislation is specific to the handheld electronic devices, we see all kinds of distracted behavior behind the wheel.
Brian, some of the research we've been seeing come out, because it's very new, this social networking while you're moving and people texting on the move. But some of the research shows that it's akin to drinking and driving. It can be as bad, sometimes worse.
It can be worse. Research has shown that your response times, if you're texting while driving, you're 23 times slower.
Really?
Yeah, up to 23 times slower.
Wow. And Mayor, are we seeing some of this affect the city of Ottawa? Are you hearing that anecdotally?
Well, we are. We have the statistics that show about 17% of collisions are as a result of distracted driving.
Wow.
So that's literally thousands of collisions in the course of a year. And, you know, what the interesting stat that I found, Jeff, was that you could be texting, sending one text message, and you travel the length of a football field.
That's the thing,
and, you know, just think of that, you know, without looking at the road and how much damage and how much hurt you can cause if you're texting. And, you know, a lot of the times we'll hear of stories where someone has just replied by sending LOL or, you know, haha, or just one word. Just that can wait. It's not that important. Or pull off to the side of the road safely and finish the text. But nothing is that important that you want to take your eyes off the road for the length of a football field just to send an LOL on text.
And you know what's scary about that, Karen, is it's most often that. So tell me about leave the phone alone.
Actually, I defer to the mayor on that one.
Sure. Well, this is a campaign that we have through Ottawa Public Health, and it's we want people to sign up and pledge that they're not going to be distracted by a cell phone or a BlackBerry or an iPhone. And all they have to do is go to ottawa.ca, our website, and register. And we're going to be going to different schools. Our guests from BC are going to be going to a couple of schools. I'm going to join them at Sacred Heart in Stittsville with my colleague Shad Cadre to encourage young people. Because the stats show it's the youngest group of drivers that are the most distracted. And
you know, you're still learning too at that point. You think, Corporal, that would be a time where you really should be concentrating even more so. Although when you're driving, you should be doing one thing, right?
Well, yeah, you should be driving. But, you know, I hate to say it, people are doing a lot of other things instead of just driving. And
you and I were talking about just before that it's not just the phone, it's all sorts of things going on in the car.
It is. It's, you know what, it's eating that hamburger from the drive-thru, it's drinking a soda, it's, you know what, reading directions, reading the newspaper.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, we don't talk about this all the time, Karen, about, you know, and everybody likes to say what city is the worst. Oh, you know, Montreal drivers or Ottawa drivers or Toronto drivers, they're so crazy out there, you really got to watch out. And then there's people on their phones and you know, reading. And we've had reports, Mayor, that people are eating cereal while driving, too, and shaving and things like that. So you're off to do some presentations at school to stop this.
Yeah, we are. Well, the main reason we start with the high school students is because they do represent the next generation of drivers. You know, and you probably know it took a full generation for drinking and driving to become socially unacceptable. We don't want it to take 25 years for distracted driving to become socially unacceptable. So if we can reach them before they get those bad habits, even though they're the texting generation, they actually have the ability to make the change to turn this issue around. Yeah,
and really quickly, last thing, Mayor, I guess having people sign their name, there's just something symbolic in it. Is there really something that we've noticed that people, once they put it down, it's like an oath?
That's right. You know, it's a pledge, really to themselves, but also to the other people on the road that it's completely irresponsible and it's now illegal. I happen to be an MPP that passed the law that said that if you're going to be on a phone or texting, you're going to get a ticket, and there are blitzes, and the fine is $155. So that in itself is an incentive. But we're asking people to go to ottawa.ca, look for the link, and take the pledge and make our roads safer.
All right, thank you very much. Let's check in with Sarah Freemark now, EMU and you. Sarah?